This is stop number 12 of the Sunoco Cup Series and the final stop before the Winston. This is the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Now, before we go into either both the points and the starting grid, I want to go through all the current drivers that are in the Winston and run through why they got in. So we'll start off. We have Colin Cropley. He's currently in. He won at Las Vegas. We have and by the way, just wanted to let you know we have 19 drivers already entered for the Winston, and obviously we'll have the 2 drivers that win the Open will qualify as well. And provided if anybody wins here that's not in, we'll get in. But we have Colin Cropley. He won at Las Vegas this year. Dylan Ruiz won at Bristol this season. Michael Dawson, who won last season at Rockingham and Martinsville. Tim Fiegel, who won at Richmond the second race here. Dylan Kilburn, who won at Daytona this year, the Daytona 500. Connor Breton, that won at North Wilkesboro last season. John Dawson, who won at Talladega last season. Ryan Cooper, who won 4 times last season, won Michigan, New Hampshire, and Riverside, the second Riverside event. And they won both New Hampshire events, by the way. Dylan Poteet won at Charlotte in Season 1. James Qualls won at Pocono in Season 1, the first one. Skylar Harris won this season at North Wilkesboro. Jonathan Gators won at Talladega. Dylan Hughes, our most recent winner at Fontana, also won at Dover. Watkins Glen Anders, our defending Winston champion. Eric Matthews won at Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 600 and the Sonoma event. John Acosta won at Bristol, the night race. Keon Shaw is a 4-time winner, obviously in the points. Chantelli Barr is your reigning champion. Nick Baxter won at Martinsville, and Daniel Schwab won Darlington last season. So that's where we stand as far as our qualifiers for the Winston. But now, with that out of the way, will we have a new entry? We'll find out. But we got the top 10 in points, and it should be interesting of what we have when we go through our starting grid. Keon Shaw is currently our leader. Stephanie Naylor's is second. I know she's chomping at the bits. Same with Eric Matthews, Ray Castor, and Zach Carlson. If you want to know why, you'll hear about it momentarily. And your 6 through 10, Josh Osborne, Connor Breton, Tim Walsh, Dylan Poteet, and the only other winner besides Keon Shaw that's in the top 10, Colin Cropley, is right now in the 10th spot. So now, let's go into our starting grid for this, the Miller Genuine Draft 400. It will be 40 laps of racing right here, and the 3/4 mile short track is on the pole, qualifying at 132.412 miles an hour, is the number 63 Nescafe Pontiac of Josh Osborne, part of that finish of our last event at Fontana, which you don't want to miss. You shouldn't have missed that one. And on the outside will be the number 13 Glidden Paint Chevy of Tim Fiegel. Row 2 will be the number 11 Budweiser Banquet Foods Ford of Bob Marshall, and the number 9 Coors Light Ford, that's Ray Castor. Row 3 will be the number 5 Levi Garrett Chevy, that is Dylan Ruiz, our winner at Bristol, and the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac, that is Liam Campbell. Row 4 will be our number 79 Olds, the reigning Sunoco Cup Series champion Chantelli Barra, and the number 97 Kellogg's Cornflakes Olds of Jennifer Hughes. And in row 5 will be a pair of Fords, the number 22 Maxwell House Ford, that's Dylan Poteet, the number 15 Motorcraft Ford of Levi Jones. Row 6 will consist of a couple guys that we heard that are in the Winston, Jonathan Gators and Skylar Harris. Skylar Harris is starting on the inside, Jonathan's on the outside, then Keith Batson and Colin Cropley, Trent Dunham and Alex Filter, then James Qualls and Nick Baxter, Daniel Schwab and Zach Carlson, Fred Christopher and Sasha Dawson, then it's Austin Hughes and Tim Walsh, Joseph Lombard and Faith Johnson. Faith, who was our Sunoco Busch champion last year, so far winless. She would like to change that now without having to go through the Winston Open. Then it's Ryan Cooper and Michael Dawson, Alexander Dawson and Stephanie Naylor, Dylan Hughes, our most recent winner at Fontana, and John Dawson, Skyland Carlson and Eric Matthews, Dylan Kilburn and Johnny Gardner, Connor Breton and Kathy Cantara, and rounding out the field, once again shotgun for this event, it is Justin Acosta. Now, after the command, I'm going to let you know who did not qualify, and there's a big name that you'll hear in that.
Drivers, start your engine!
There's the command, as here is our 3 that did not qualify. First of all, your points leader, Keon Shaw, did not make the field. Same can be said about John Acosta. Also did not make the field. And the winner here in Season 3 of the Cash GTX Cup in a one last lap showdown where he nosed out Jasmine Acosta, that is Trey Campbell. He also failed to qualify. So, you want to talk about big. The gap is going to be closed up considerably between the current points leader Keon Shaw and everybody else. Stephanie Naylor, Eric Matthews, Ray Caster, Zach Carlson, Josh Osborne, etc., etc. Get ready. 40 laps here. Expect a lot of yellows, I can tell you that without question. Right there, neck and neck at the stripe, Josh Osborne and Tim Fiegel. Now here comes the Ford, the blue oval dive. Didn't make a dive. That's Bob Marshall, the Budweiser number 11. And there we go. We under yellow. Tim Fiegel's involved. Dylan Ruiz is involved. And yep, that is going to trigger the yellow. I'm going to stick to everything else because things could happen. If Jonathan Gators gets pushed down into the grass, tries to save it. Fred Christopher, I don't know what happened there. Well, I knew that was going to come as Bob Marshall will lead the race back to line without question. And with that, we'll obviously have to go back to the drawing board to see what happened with Tim Fiegel and Dylan Ruiz. As you can see right here, you can see Bob Marshall go to the inside of Josh Osborne. Dylan Ruiz tried to get a little bit in there too. That's what happened. Tim Fiegel got tagged by Ray Caster, went right into Dylan Ruiz. You can see checking up was Chantelli Barr. Dylan Poteet kind of checked up. Jonathan Gators as well, as both of them, both Fiegel and Ruiz both slide in the apron. Now, I don't know what else happened. Let me go check at a better vantage point. Let's see if anything happened from the spectator view. Thought we saw smoke. Jonathan Gators getting shoved off to the side. There's what happened. Keith Batson got Alex Filter spun a little bit. He saved it though, but Trent Dunham got a little bit of a tap too. So let's actually see what culminated that. I think that was a case of Keith Batson, Dylan Poteet, and Alex Filter. Yep, a little bit of Keith Batson getting Alex Filter. Trent Dunham nowhere to go. He got a little bit in the back of that, and that's where all the smoke came from as far as that was concerned. Wasn't so much of a spin as much it was a lot of checking up. Jonathan Gators going on the low side. I think he tried to melch back in conveniently. I don't know what happened with Johnny Gardner and Kathy Kandara. I think there was, yes, there was something going on back here. You talk about 4 wide fest, you got just that. Faith Johnson going up high following Tim Walsh and Sasha Dawson. Let's get on to the yeah, it looked like Eric Matthews was involved there. Yep, there's Justin Acosta checking up. Everybody was checking up. He got, yep, caught the number 12 of Michael Dawson. Michael spins. Matthews spins, and everybody else was just checking up. Kathy Kantara was checking up. Johnny Gardner, Justin Acosta. That was basically what it was all about. So now we're getting back into the groove of things. We still got a few more caution laps to go. Bob Marshall still leads. Josh Osborne is second. Both of them have not gotten an entry into the Winston. I do believe Ray Caster has not gotten an opening invitation to the Winston neither. He came so close. Yep, it'll be Ray Caster's not in. So that's 3. Liam Campbell's not in. Jennifer Hughes is not in. Levi Jones is not in. So your top 6, all of which are not in the Winston, so they have a shot at making a difference. Then 7th spot is Colin Cropley. He's in. Chantelli Barra, she's in. Skylar Harris, he's in. Dylan Poteet, he's in. That's your top 10. Then it is Alex Filter, Keith Batson, James Qualls, Nick Baxter, Zach Carlson, Fred Christopher, Sasha Dawson, Jonathan Gators, Daniel Schwab, Tim Walsh. Then it's Austin Hughes, Joseph Lombard, Ryan Cooper. We'll be back to green flag this time by Alexander Dawson, Skylyn Carlson, Faith Johnson, Dylan Hughes, Stephanie Naylor, Dylan Kilburn, Connor Breton. John Dawson. Give me that's. Yes, John Dawson. Justin Acosta, Johnny Gardner, Kathy Cantara, Tim Fiegel, Dylan Ruiz, Michael Dawson, Trent Dunham, and Eric Matthews rounds out the field. As we'll be back to green flag, it'll be lap number 7 of 40. We're not even a quarter of the way in, and we're under yellow. We're going to probably have a few more after it's all said and done. Pace car drops off. Here we go again. Bob Marshall, Josh Osborne. Bob with a very good jump on the next cab, number 63. Josh is part of that great last lap finish with Dylan Hughes in Fontana. And we got more trouble there. We saw that was the... Yep, and we got ourselves a mess. Big one coming. Oh, man. Connor Breton. On his roof. He took a bad tumble there. You saw Sasha Dawson, Chantel Ibarra. That was ugly. And once again, our leader is still Bob Marshall. Ray Castor actually got the second, nosing out Josh Osborne. So that'll help his cause. Then it will be Liam Campbell and Colin Cropley rounds out the top 5. But that one does deserve to see a replay because there was a lot of stuff that was just unraveling. This is when it had came about. You can see Faith Johnson, give me that's a Faith Johnson. Chantel Ibarra goes into the wall. Skylar Harris had nowhere to go. Skylar tags the wall, leaving Chantel to spin right in front of, I do believe that was James Qualls. Yep, and James taking it hard from Sasha Dawson. Fred Christopher going down. You see Dylan Kilburn sliding into the inside, and then nowhere to go. Connor Breton and taking it to Chantel, and then Kathy Cantara putting him into a barrel roll. Kept on going, and then it lands on its roof. Dylan Kilburn, tough break for Dylan. Eric Matthews did again. I don't know if anything else happened. Let's see. I think we probably were okay. Yep, as I said, Ray Castor did nose out Josh Osborne for the second spot. 3 wide, how about back here? Heh. Let's see what happened with... I think that deserves to be on board. Talk about nowhere to go. Now, he obviously was very attributed to the Dylan Kilburn spin. He tags Kilburn, and then, surprise. Not good at all. Not what you want when you want to go into the Winston, as I do believe he is in. That's the only good news, is that Connor Breton is in the Winston. So now, here's where we stand. We'll be back to green flag this time by still Bob Marshall leading. Then it's Ray Castor, Josh Osborne, Liam Campbell, Colin Cropley. Then it's Jennifer Hughes, Levi Shones, Dylan Potee, Alex Filter, and Skylar Harris. Then it will be Keith Batson, Fred Christopher, Zach Carlson, Jonathan Gators, Nick Baxter, Daniel Schwab, Austin Hughes, Tim Walsh, James Qualls, and Alexander Dawson. Joseph Lombard, Ryan Cooper, Skylyn Carlson, Faith Johnson, Dylan Hughes, John Dawson. Justin Acosta, Stephanie Naylor, Johnny Gardner, Michael Dawson, Tim Fiegel, Dylan Ruiz, Trent Dunham, Dylan Kilburn, Eric Matthews, Kathy Kantara. The 3 DNFs right now are Sasha Dawson, Chantel Ibarra, and Connor Breton. We're back to green. And a good jump for Ray Castor. He may have enough momentum to try to take the number 1 spot. You got a battle of the beer cars going on here, and you got a third beer car in 4th, and that is Liam Campbell's. Here comes Ray Castor to try to make a move. He's got himself a few wins in the Sunoco Cup and the GTX Cup Series real recently. Now Josh Osborne's going to get into it. Up, he's going to go up high, and how about that? Ray Castor will take it, but Josh Osborne's going to steal it back. Now we got another beer car coming in. That is the number 2 of Liam Campbell. Colin Cropley right there following suit. And now Liam trying to do what Trey has done, and that is win here at Richmond. Cropley's going to go to the number 3 spot. Marshall's not done yet. The car that Colin drove last season is what Bob is driving this season. Bob's going to get into it now. He's going to try to go for the number 3 spot back on Colin Cropley. He's trying to make up points for sure. Josh Osborne's making up more. He's higher up in the point standings. He's going to take that number 1 spot though. Liam Campbell, Ray Castor, teammate with Colin Cropley's moving down low. Good jump in there. Now back here we see Dylan Poteet and Keith Batson doing a battle. Jennifer Hughes coming in. Now we're starting to get some sort of a groove. I hope it can stay for a little while longer before we go to another yellow, as we know it'll come. Meanwhile, up front, we still got a good battle going on. Liam Campbell trying to make a move on Josh Osborne. Not enough to take the track. But here comes Levi Schoentz. He's going to go for the number 4 spot. Now we got beer cars battling yet again. Ray Castor trying to stay in it. We got 2 Pontiacs, then 3 Fords. Actually make that 2 Fords and a Chevy. Because Colin Cropley's going to take that number 3 spot without question. Give me that number 5 spot without question from Bob Marshall. Good racing going on. We're getting ourselves into a little bit of a groove. That's always a good sign. We still got a long way to go. We still got about halfway. We're not even there yet. Liam Campbell now going to make a move to the inside of... Yep, he got to do just that. He's got him. Liam Campbell's got the number 1 spot. Oh, what a save there by Jennifer Hughes as Fred Christopher almost got her out of the way. And that was one great driving job there. As Liam Campbell will take the number 1 spot and he'll lead a lap. Levi Schoentz going to try to make a move to the inside of the number 63 of Josh Osborne. Now we're under yellow, and I do believe that was... We're still going to have the race back to the line. We'll check on what had happened. I do believe Liam Campbell will lead the race back to the line. And then obviously he is a contender to get in the spot. Skylar Harris is involved there. I think that may have been your cause. As Levi Schoentz... Uh-oh, watch out. It got tight up here. That's not good at all. It was ridiculously tight, and we've got ourselves a mess. You saw? Yeah. And it looked like it was ugly. What was that? Dylan Kilburn, done for the day. Let's see what had happened. I think we see what had actually happened. It looked like we saw some with Skylar Harris. This may have been what had happened. You see, Skylar, nothing really goes on good here. We see there's a Fred Christopher getting in it with Jennifer Hughes. Jennifer actually saved it. That was one great driving job there. But as you see the speed shot there, is now here's what had happened. Jonathan Gator tries to go to the inside of Daniel Schwab. Alexander Dawson tries to follow Skylar Harris. Alex Filter slides up high. That probably would be one of the attributes, as both Skylar and Jonathan check down low. Dylan Poteet out in clear ground. And that's what sent Jonathan Gators into Alex Filter. Alex, big ping pong effect. There's Skylar Harris. Alexander Dawson gets into that. Alex Filter sliding across the stripe. Obviously that caused a lot of people to check up. Now, yep, Joseph Lombard taking a hard lick. A lot of cars checking up, and it was just a big old-fashioned parking lot. James Qualls, Justin Acosta, Ryan Cooper, Michael Dawson, he got there. Johnny Gardner, Skyland Carlson, Dylan Hughes, our winner at Richmond. Excuse me, our last winner. Trent Dunham. Now I think this is where did now where was Dylan Kilburn? Okay, there's Dylan Kilburn. let's see where Dylan Kilburn came in. I know he took some sort of a licking in there. Yep, that's where it all came about. Dylan Kilburn was right there behind by Eric Matthews. I think it was just a case of he had nowhere to go. And that's where he caught John Dawson in the tail. This caused John to spin around into Stephanie Naylor. James Qualls, who dodged down low there. It literally became like a parking lot. Cars getting pinched up. Nick Baxter. And obviously it slowed up the field considerably because, well, you got the next, and your leader is Liam Campbell. It really threw them all off guard. As we were just getting back to things, we just saw some crazy stuff happening. We just saw Levi Shones get knocked out of the race. Let's see what had happened with Levi, as it was obviously a big old mess. We were going to try to get back into the swing of things momentarily. That's what had happened. Obviously, Levi Shones, who was obviously one of the top cars in the lead lap, had basically knocked himself out of the race just on purely hitting a car. It looked like he hit the number 87 of Justin Acosta, the number 95 of Justin Acosta. Yep, he tagged Justin right in the rear. He tried to check up, and it just wasn't to be. And I don't think anybody else hit him. I think he was a lame duck. A tough break for Levi Shones, who was looking so strong, and then just one mistake basically did it. And oh, we got another problem now. We just saw something else that just came about, as you saw Skylar Harris just hitting the 86 of Faith Johnson. What was up with that? Another case of a car trying to check up, and he ended up getting into the rear. This is just turning into literally a demolition derby. Skylar Harris, all that whole mess up has totally made a difference. And I'm gonna, I'm obviously not gonna get back onto the swing of things until, oh, we gotta talk about ill-handling car. Justin Acosta has just that. I hope we can get everything ironed out just in time. Now we have Tim Fiegel checking up. It looks, I don't know what happened there with Daniel Schwab. I hope we can get everything ironed out. That's enough. Yeah. Keith Batson got spun. Everything is just going like... Yeah, Keith Batson going up to the low side, and he gets spun up, hitting Johnny Gardner. And then that's where the checking up happened. This is turning into literally a demolition derby. I don't even want to... I want to just bring us up to speed before it's too late. I'm just going to fast forward it and see if I don't miss anything. I think we have everything squared away though. Yep, we do. We're back to green flag racing now. Finally, as Liam Campbell will lead the inside car, Skylar Harris and Tim Fiegel. Third spot in his Ray Castor, Josh Osborne, Colin Cropley, Bob Marshall, your top five. Then we're just going to get right into it. Oh, we got a car slowing. That car is just not functioning proper. See Trent Dunham going to the inside. This is going to be ugly. Skylar Harris having a very ill-handling car. That could really do damage. It almost held up Colin Cropley. Thankfully, he got stopped. Ray Castor's going to now make a move to the inside. We're going to be back under yellow, and Ray Castor's going to lead the lap. And it's Justin Acosta is now spun. We have ourselves an ugly situation, as here's what had happened with Justin Acosta. See, 4 wide here. James Qualls, Eric Matthews, John Dawson. Yep, Stephanie Naylor got a little bit of a tag by Ryan Cooper. And then Stephanie got out of shape. There was some little bit of domino affecting James Qualls and John Dawson. And that's where Justin Acosta slams the inside divider. Eric Matthews. James Qualls. Yep, there's where James got into it with John Dawson. A lot of checking up. James Qualls, I don't know if he got any damage from that. How much damage? He looked like... Yep, and it's just, once again, we're back under yellow. Oh, there was something else going on here. Zach Carlson and Jennifer Hughes. Skylar Harris spinning Jennifer. And then Zach Carlson catching Nick Baxter. There's just so much going on here. So a tough break for Jennifer. Excuse me, Zach Carlson. Yep, and Dylan and Ryan Cooper catches him. This was not pretty at all. Now, what spun Zach Carlson? I think that was Dylan Poteet. Yep, it got tight up here. You saw Jennifer Hughes, Fred Christopher up front. You have Bob Marshall, Dylan Poteet to the inside. They were literally 5 wide. You cannot do that here in Richmond. Yeah. Little bit of a ping pong effect for Jennifer Hughes going into Bob Marshall. And then you see Dylan Poteet spinning. And Jennifer saving that. Talk about driving jobs. She has had the favorite for that. Then she got tagged by Alex Filter. Then she got basically trapped in when Nick Baxter got spun. So, we're back under yellow. Yet again. Now, with that said, let's take a look at where we stand. We have about 11 laps to go. Next time by it'll be 11 laps to go. It is now Ray Castor leading. Liam Campbell second. Josh Osborne is third. Colin Cropley's fourth. Keith Batson now in the top 5. Then it's Trent Dunham, Austin Hughes, Fred Christopher, Bob Marshall, and Zach Carlson. Then Dylan Poteet, Tim Walsh, Jennifer Hughes, Alexander Dawson, Nick Baxter, Joseph Lombard, Faith Johnson, Skylyn Carlson, Daniel Schwab, and Stephanie Naylor. Then Johnny Gardner, Dylan Hughes, Dylan Ruiz, Kathy Cantara, Eric Matthews, James Qualls, Justin Acosta, and Alex Filter. Then in our one lap down will be Tim Fiegel and Skylar Harris, as well as John Dawson, all of which are lap down. And then your DNFs thus far: Ryan Cooper, Levi Shones, Jonathan Gators, Michael Dawson, Dylan Kilburn, Sasha Dawson, Shadeli Barra, and of course Connor Breton. So we have only 31 cars left. 3 cars will go to the inside. Those will be John Dawson, Skylar Harris, and Tim Fiegel. Skylar has been really a major factor in a lot of the issues today. I think he's going to get on the inside, or is he not? Let's see, where is he? No. No, it's all going to be single file. We're not going to have any switching. So Fiegel's like right now behind Colin Cropley. So your top 4 basically in safe ground. Josh Osborne, Tim Fiegel, Josh Osborne, Colin Cropley, Ray Castor, and Liam Campbell. We're back on the green. It'll be 10 laps to go. Keith Batson now in the 5th spot. Now we're going to get into a good battle groove going on. 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Here comes Josh Osborne to the inside of Ray Castor and Liam Campbell. Colin Cropley. Oh, we got trouble! Oh my goodness! Colin Cropley, Josh Osborne, Ray Castor all get into it right at the stripe. Just when we were saying it was going to get good, it did not. And Liam Campbell will win the race back to the line. I think Colin Cropley will take second. That was unpretty. Josh Osborne got into that. Tough break for Josh Osborne. He was running so good, and he is done. My goodness. Oh, what a difference a lap will make. Your top 4 all getting into, all top 3 were getting into a battle of unprecedented lengths, and it takes out the pole sitter. I don't think he's out though, but we'll see. But we're obviously going to, let's take a look at that right now. That was unreal. Obviously Colin Cropley was involved. Here's what had happened. There was a great three-wide battle going on as they go down the back straightaway. Josh Osborne right to the inside of Liam Campbell and Ray Castor. Then there was a little bit of a touch. Liam Campbell just sent Josh Osborne's a wall. Colin got collected in that, and then Keith Batson gets through. Everybody gets through. Josh Osborne took the hard hit of the wall. And then I don't think anything else really happened that could probably make or break anybody. Fortunately, Keith Batson getting right through. Bob Marshall, Dylan Poteet, Fred Christopher, Ray Castor. But, oh, Joseph Lombard. What happened with Joseph? Just got spun, apparently. Yep. Checking up with Stephanie Naylor and Zach Carlson. Everybody was trying to get in line, and then they all got together. Stephanie spun. There's Dylan Hughes getting a little bit of a hit there, too. Oh, what a difference. So now, where do we stand? It is still Liam Campbell leading. Colin Cropley's now second. Keith Batson is third. Bob Marshall's fourth, and Ray Castor is fifth. So the three of the drivers that were part of that battle going into the yellow are in the top five still. Fred Christopher is sixth, Dylan Poteet seventh, Austin Hughes is eighth, Trent Dunham is ninth, and Tim Walsh rounds at the top 10. To Zach Carlson, Skyland Carlson, Faith Johnson, Joseph Lombard, Daniel Schwab, Alexander Dawson, Johnny Gardner, Jennifer Hughes, Stephanie Naylor, and Dylan Ruiz. Then it's Nick Baxter, Eric Matthews, Justin Acosta, Kathy Kantara, James Qualls, and Alex Filter, and of course more of the same from the rest on down. Tim Fiegel, Skylar Harris, and of course John Dawson. Then Josh Osborne has DNF. Dylan Hughes, our winner at Fontana, is out, and of course Ryan Cooper, Levi Shones, Jonathan Gators, John Dawson, Michael Dawson, Dylan Kilburn, Sasha Dawson, Chantelli Barr, and Connor Breton are all out. So now there'll be 4 laps to go. Basically, any yellows means over. And I know that if you don't want to be in that situation. Can Colin Cropley win his second win, or can Liam Campbell make another victory for the Campbells here at Richmond and get himself a spot in the Winston? Here comes Keith Batson going to the inside of Colin Cropley. Keith is trying to get his first win and get himself a berth into the Sunoco Cup Series. Winston. 3-wide battle going on here for second. Now we got 3 laps to go. And I do believe we'll be under yellow. Yes, we are. So right now, this is the race back to the line. Will it be Liam Campbell? Will it be Bob Marshall? Will it be Keith Batson? I think you're going to have to go with answer number A. It's going to be Liam Campbell winning here at Richmond. What happened? Let's find out. As I think we figured out what was actually the case, we were looking at right now Faith Johnson, who is running really good underneath Skyland Carlson. You see Joseph Lombard, Trent Dunham on the outside, and you see Joseph Lombard getting into the quarter panel of Faith Johnson, and then Tim Fiegel gets in it, Zach Carlson, and you'll see it gets really ugly now as James Qualls goes right into the side of Faith Johnson, gets it basically to do a pirouette on its 4 wheels, and that was not pretty at all. Unbelievable. So just like that, the race is over. Liam Campbell will win. Then it will be Bob Marshall. I don't know why it's skipping now, but this is it. Obviously, Bob Marshall will be second. Then it will be Keith Batson. Then it will be Austin Hughes will be third. Fourth will be Austin Hughes. Fifth will be Ray Castor. Sixth will be Colin Cropley. Seventh will be Tim Walsh. Eighth will be Dylan Poteet. Ninth is Fred Christopher. 10th is Skyland Carlson. Then it'll be Trent Dunham, Joseph Lombard will follow them. Then Faith Johnson, Jennifer Hughes, Stephanie Naylor, Zach Carlson, Dylan Ruiz, Alexander Dawson, Johnny Gardner, Nick Baxter, Eric Matthews, Justin Acosta, Kathy Cantara, Alex Filter, Daniel Schwab. Then it will be Tim Fiegel, Skylar Harris, John Dawson, James Qualls will be our first DNF, as what we just saw. Then Josh Osborne, Dylan Hughes, Ryan Cooper, Levi Jones, Jonathan Gators, Michael Dawson, Dylan Kilburn, Sasha Dawson, Chantel Ibarra, and Connor Breton. I obviously don't know what happened there, but nonetheless, your winner here at Richmond, the last member of the Winston, Liam Campbell, gets himself in. So Liam Campbell now finds himself in the Winston. Now let's take a look at our points. Keon Shaw with that DNF obviously hurt his cause, as now he's 52 points behind Stephanie Naylor. Ahead of Stephanie Naylor, Ray Castor moves up to third. Eric Matthews drops to fourth. Zach Carlson rounds out the top five. Then Tim Walsh moves up. Josh Osborne drops. Liam Campbell moves up. Colin Cropley and Dylan Poteet your top 10. Then Connor Breton, Trent Dunham, Daniel Schwab, Nick Baxter, Kathy Cantara, Jonathan Gators, Alex Filter, Alexander Dawson, Dylan Kilburn. Then Jennifer Hughes, Levi Jones, Chantel Ibarra, Joseph Lombard, Tim Fiegel, Dylan Ruiz, Bob Marshall, James Qualls, Faith Johnson, Austin Hughes, Justin Acosta, Skyland Carlson, Sasha Dawson, Ryan Cooper, Johnny Gardner, Fred Christopher, Skylar Harris, Trey Campbell, John Acosta, Dylan Hughes, and then the Dawsons, John and Michael. So the next race will be the Winston. We'll have the Winston open for everybody else who did not qualify for the Winston itself. And then it'll be time for the top two of that will join everybody else in the Winston